Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my 100-year-old Pleasantview save. We're back in Pleasantview today, and I'm going to show you the Lothario family and let you know how they got along. So Don's original house is down here. I'll be able to see the very lovely extension I bolted onto the side. When he had a few more kids, he needed more space. I just sort of did that for him. But he doesn't live there anymore. I mean, he doesn't actually live anymore. He's passed away. But his family, his descendants, have moved different places around the town. You can find Lotharios in different areas. The main Lothario household, though, is over here in this very nice house. And this is where his granddaughter and great-grandchildren currently live. So I'll take you into their family and show you how they've got on. So this is the new Lothario household. This is where the main family lives, descended straight from Don. This is the outside of the house. Some key things here. We do have a cow plant. I think that was because of Joseph Lotharios, that's his son-in-law. He was in the science career and brought home a cow plant, which has been helpful for taking care of troublesome townies. We also have the classic Don Lothario hot tub stayed at the back, and Don's grave is still here. I haven't moved him out of the house just yet, as does Nina. So in my game, Don didn't marry or have any children with Cassandra, but he did marry Nina, and they stayed together their whole lives. They obviously were romance sims. They didn't stay entirely faithful their whole lives, but they loved each other in the end, and they stayed together. They raised a very successful family. So let's meet those descendants. So in the household, we have Isabel Lothario on the toilet. That's very inconsiderate of me. We'll see her in a moment. But Joseph Lothario, so not a blood Lothario himself. He is. He was married to Francesca, who was Don's daughter, with Nina. And so he's here now. Sadly, Francesca passed away not too long ago, and you can see Joseph doesn't have too much long left himself. But he stayed here. He's been in the household. He was friends with Don. They had quite a good relationship. We have on the wall here, I haven't done this for every household, but I thought Don would appreciate it. We have his portrait of how he was not long before he passed away. Francesca is here, and then this is Isabel, his daughter. Oh, sorry, his granddaughter. And then we have the children of this current household. So Isabel is married to Tessa, and that's Tessa Ramirez. This is the sim I didn't realise was a townie, or wasn't a townie. I thought she was didn't have a family until I sent her to university with Isabel, and from there they pretty much fell in love. It was very, very sweet. Pretty quickly they got together, and they've been together ever since. Now they have had 4 children so far. Isabel is still interested in having more children. She is a family sim herself. The oldest 3 children, so Claudia, Jacob and Vanessa, were triplets. So it was quite a bit of hard work to raise them all, to get them all skilled up at the same time. But luckily Don was around then, and Don Lothario has really been, despite being a romance sim, one of the kind of best parents in my game. Like, was always happy to look after the kids, do the skills, whatever needed to be done. He's just been really involved, and so that was really very helpful, because triplets are a bit of a nightmare. Then the youngest child is Teresa, named after Tessa. She was a singleton all by herself, which was a big relief, but not born too long after the others, I think. Yeah, there's only about 5 days in between those 2 sets of children. So let's have a closer look at Isabel. So in my game, as I said, Cassandra married Dirk Dreamer, Darren Dreamer. So the Dreamer features are quite prominent, and Isabel, even though she's kind of a grandchild of Darren, even though she's a grandchild of Darren, she looks quite a lot like him. She has his nose shape still, which is quite good. But here you can see the full family tree, how ultimately the Don and Cassandra relationship was resolved, with Francesca and Joseph getting married and having their own children. So if we look at Don directly, these are all of his descendants. His eldest daughter was Francesca with Nina, and that was the only child he had with Nina, actually. Abigail is the child he had with a relationship with Bo Broke's wife, so she is part Broke, and is now married into the Goth family. Then the youngest child is Sophia. She is another Broke's daughter, Lila Lothario, who is Dustin's daughter. So obviously, Don Lothario kind of spreading it as far and wide as he can, really. A whole range of individuals that he's had children with, but only the three, and three daughters who have all been very nice Sims, actually. So this is their current household. With the triplets, we have all three in this room over here. We may have to split them up at some point, but I think that's fine for now. We have Isabel and Tessa's room on this side, and Joseph over here. On the next floor, living space, dining space, a very small kitchen, sadly. Could do with being a little bit bigger. And then Teresa has her own room currently. May switch that to be Jacob's own room, the middle twin, the only boy, just so he's got his own space when they're teenagers, but for now I think that's all okay. There's a dog basket here. They did previously have dogs, but as you can see, no, that's Francesca. I thought that was one of the dogs. They did previously have dogs, but they have since passed away. They may get them back at some point. So Isabel is currently in the dance career, and she's level 9. She absolutely loves it. She is kind of all into dance and athletics. She also, is she in work today? She is, but we'll send her out anyway. She has also recently purchased a dance studio, so I thought it would be quite a good way for her to kind of share her love of dance with the town, will be to have like a music and dance place where she can host other Sims coming to have dance lessons, enjoying the music and the dance hobby. I know there is a pre-built one, I think, for the hobby, but this is Francesca's. This is Isabel's, and how she's gonna continue to love her dance. It's not actually her one true hobby, but sometimes that's the way it goes, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll send her out. She can use the car, and we'll go to her community lot. It's in Blue Water Village, and it is Blue Water Ballet School. So this is Isabel's dance studio. Because I've been playing my Build a City Challenge in Haven Rock, I've gotten really into running the businesses, and so I thought I would build a little space for Isabel to enjoy her dance hobby. She has the golden bar from her own career as a dancer. There's also one of her colleagues has another one, so I'm thinking I'll try and get her to pass that along and add that to the studio as well. Otherwise the whole family spends all day every day dancing, which is fine, but this could be a better use for it. So we'll charge for a little while, see who comes in, if anyone turns up, anyone interesting, and let her run her business. I had to take a mirror away because it started to glitch weirdly. I might try and add that back in at some point. So my idea was to have sort of an adults room and then a children's room as well. So yeah, you can have 2 different kinds of classes. But yes, it was just a nice little space for the community. Oh, what I only learned recently, which I think is quite cool, for the ballet outfits, the tights are see-through. You can see her tattoo on her leg through the tights, which I think is really cool. Especially because tattoos aren't part of the game. That's modded in. So I think that's pretty interesting. When Isabel was at university, the reason she has this tattoo, her and everyone in her year, they were such good friends. It doesn't always happen that they all make friends, but they were so close that I got them all matching tattoos. So they all have, if they're in the same year, they have those stars on their legs. And Tessa does too, of course, because they're in the same year. So we got some people happy to dance. Oh, no. You've got to work out first, Ted, before you can have a tasty juice snack. So these are all townies, I think. Nobody playable in the town. That's alright. Okay, I'll send Isabel home and we'll go through some more details about the family. So while we wait for Isabel to come home, I thought I'd talk a bit about the mods I use in my saves. I do have a problem in that a lot of them are old, they've been in my game forever, and sometimes I forget what's a mod and what is the normal gameplay. Some of the key things are the skins I use, the kind of skin defaults. So it's the original, I think it's by Lilith Honey Skin Blend. So that's what I have for Joseph here. I tried to find the eyes that I use. I do have the eyes default replaced as well. And they're definitely in the game, but I can't find the names for them. And even when I found a name from inside the game, I can't find the actual file in my downloads. So I think it must be there somewhere, but I will look again. But those are also replaced. And I was looking at the Honey Skin Blend. I realised that Lilith actually released a new version in 2017, a new version of the skins. So you can look at both of those if you want something similar to what I have. We have both the skin like Joseph has here in different shades, as well as a freckled version. And I don't think anyone in the household has freckles, but it's pretty cool. It comes up randomly through genetics, so a sim can be born with clear skin, with freckle skin. Either is good, and I think that's very fun. I of course use ACR, or Autonomous Casual Romance. It's gotten my sims into plenty of trouble over the years, but I love it. I love how it works and the kind of drama it adds. Always have that somewhere on the lot. See if I can figure out where I put it in this slot. Nope, no idea. I don't often change it. I normally leave it as the stack of phone books so it stands out. Oh, come on, Joseph. Show me where it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, fantastic. You probably saw it on the video before I did. So yeah, that's in here, so I can control my sims and see their kind of gender preferences, how fertile they are, how many kids they want. I've started setting preferred number of children when they get out of college. I'll probably start doing that more reliably. I found a cool formula online to set how many kids they want, but I haven't ever had it set for most sims, and that has not stopped them. So we'll see how that goes. Also standing out very nicely in the background here, we have the bat box. This is fantastic for fixing code issues, I suppose, or any kind of signs of corruption or errors coming up, or just things that clutter up the game. So I mean, nuke sounds pretty scary, but that's just quite good for identifying things that might be a problem in the game to get rid of. And you can fix as well things like if sims come back with invisible hair or hair you can see through, you can get rid of it from here. Just things that might be sort of visually weird. Sometimes I just click them, see what happens. It will tell you if it's removed anything. As it has up here, it will say fix, remove 0 objects. I know there is a mod for making this look prettier, and I probably don't need to have it out all the time, but I find it helpful to know exactly where it is. I normally tuck it away somewhere on the lot so it's not overly obvious, and so I know that I can use it if anything goes a bit weird. I also always have a sim blender on the lot, disguised as this lovely plant. This gives you lots of control over your sim, so aging, aspiration, motives. If you get into a difficult spot, you need to max motives. You don't have to type in the cheat, you can just do it from here. Either max one person or max all. So that can be helpful sometimes. I quite often use it to reduce motives, actually, particularly if kids wake up before midnight. And so they don't sleep through till 6 AM, I will reduce their energy so they sleep through. So I don't have to try and entertain a child, which then sends them into a terrible spiral when they come home from school exhausted, wake up before midnight, spend the whole night doing things, come home from school exhausted. So I tend to fix it through here. I tend not to do things like adding skills. I kind of want the sims to earn those themselves. But things like re-rolling the lifetime want, I will do from here as well. Oh, Teresa, what have you done? Would you like to join a study group with a bunch of classmates for the next science exam? Oh, Teresa's excited at the offer, but unsure if she should go because she studies just as well by herself. Should Teresa join the study group? Well, she's the youngest of 4 siblings, and the oldest are all triplets. So what would that influence her? Well, her friends rushed over. That sounds quite exciting. Yeah, I think she'll join. Oh, yes, she joins it at the nearby library, and a lot of topics are covered. Teresa begins to feel good about the upcoming exam and gains some enthusiasm in science. Well done, Teresa. She can now search for planets with a telescope. Well, that's fun. So yeah, so Sim Blender, really, really useful for setting different things, different levels of control. And you really don't have to play with any restrictions on your game. You can always do whatever you like. You can change different things, set careers if you want to. Unlock rewards. That's how I've sometimes got cow plants where they wouldn't otherwise be, but that is incredibly useful. I also have hidden mods, so things like actually you saw on the adjuster here. No, she's not currently, I don't think. Multiple birth odds I have so that triplets and quads can happen. I've never had quads. I live in fear of the day that quads turn up. I can change the odds here. Visitor controller I've only just started using, so you can see I haven't spawned the adjuster yet for it. Just actually keep different sims off your lot. And also bed ownership I really like. This means once a sim sleeps in a bed, it becomes their bed, and so they don't do any shuffling around and switching beds after they've chosen it. And if you click on any bed to send someone to it, they will go to their own bed instead. So they'll always find their own and go to that one. So I find that very helpful for organisation. Other kind of less obvious mods, I have genetics mods. So even though I love the Sims 2 genetic system with recessive genes, hairs coming up in later generations, I think is really cool. I did find in the first few... I brought someone home from school, fantastic. So yeah, I did find in the first kind of few generations when I didn't have mods to change it, everyone had black hair, even with recessive genes. They never really expressed, and so everyone, black hair was very, very dominant. So I got mods that make the genetics equally likely to express. So they still have two, they still have, so for example, these kids should have, so let's go to Claudia over here. Claudia has brown hair. She's likely to have gotten that from Tessa. So she should have a black hair recessive gene, I suppose, that is from Isabel. So her children could have black hair as well as brown. So it's equally likely. And I recently did the same thing for eyes. I found that the recessive eye colours weren't coming through very often. Everyone has kind of dark blue or brown eyes. And so I wanted that to be equally random. When I first installed those mods, that mod wasn't available for the eyes. I don't think people think it could be done. But only recently I've did some more research and found new mods for that as well. So that's very, very cool that that is now possible. Oh, so Joseph's making friends. Oh, this is Nico Caliente has come home from school. So Nico is, as you can tell from his name, he is a Caliente. He is Dina's grandson. Yes. So the Calientes in town are high level. They are the highest level of the social classes. But I don't think I put Nico in private school yet, so he's been able to turn up and hang out with his cousins? Sort of? Some kind of cousin. So we can have a quick look at the children's faces. You can see how... Oh, she's getting in the bath, maybe not. But this is what I mean by the dreamer nose. If we look at Jacob, I'll show you Joseph first. So he has a nose from Dirk. Was pretty much, I think, how that worked out. And then Jacob has a very, very similar facial structure. So that's something I really enjoy. That kind of... Yeah, that those features have kind of survived. You can see a bit of Tessa in him in the eye shape, I think, and his brows. But he's got quite a strong dreamer look about him as well. And all of Isabel's sisters, or both of her sisters, so she has two. Francesca. They have very similar faces, except for Lucrezia, who is the youngest and looks very much like Don. She has his features quite strongly. This is one of the reasons, actually, as we're seeing kind of the after-school activities, that I like having elders around in the game. Like, I really like elders anyway, but because Joseph is at home, it means all the kids can be here and both of their mums can be in work. So they don't have to have a nanny, they don't have to worry about someone always being home. Joseph takes that over, he's minding the kids. I mean, he's actively minding someone else's child right now, but in general, he's minding the kids. He can make them dinner, whatever they need. Is anyone hungry? All from lunch. But he can do those things, and was very, very active in raising them as well. Mainly because they didn't have a choice, because they were triplets, and I think at one point there were 4 adults, 3 children, 3 toddlers, and so they had to just get involved and raise those kids, otherwise nothing was going to happen. So it's pretty cool. You need to kind of stop playing with Delilah and go to the toilet. My one problem is that I am very bad so far at telling the kids apart or remembering their names. So that's Vanessa. Oh, Tessa, well done. So, this is interesting. So Tessa recently quit her previous job, which I can't remember what it was, but I think her lifetime want is to be... Yes, to become mayor. So she quit her job and has gone back to a very low-level career, starting as an intern. Her degree didn't support politics at all. So she's starting from scratch, and that's something that Isabel, I think that's really good about their relationship. They've supported each other. They've said she wants to live her dream, do what she wants to do, become mayor. Inspired by Molly Broke, who is of course the current mayor. So they both now work together. I think it's quite fun. They can be supportive of each other in work and their personal lives too. And so yeah, so she's starting from the beginning. She's not as high up. Until Isabel bought the music and dance studio, they did have around 50,000 simoleons just sort of hanging around. Now they've got a bit less, but still very comfortable compared to many Sims in Pleasantview. So yeah, I love this family. I like the... Well, now that all the kids are actually children, it's much more relaxing. They all are good friends with each other. They have the karaoke machine, also the stand-up, the microphone. They really like that. People like to tell jokes or sing. It's always quite cool. And there's just about enough space in this house for everyone to have somewhere to sleep. Oh, Vanessa, she's gone straight to bed. It's all a bit of a busy day. So yeah, and hopefully, because Joseph isn't actually going to be around too much longer, when he has passed away, there will be more space again. So whoever comes back from college and moves into this house is going to have their own space to grow into. So I hope you've enjoyed this kind of brief look into the Lothario household and Don's legacy here on the wall, showing his developments. Yeah, they're, you know, I probably say this about every family, but I really enjoy them. I like Don a lot. I think he's a very fun sim. A surprisingly caring one for his children, and for the children of his wife. So actually, this is the last bit of information, but if I can find him. So Don was married to Nina. Nina did have a second child, which was Dante Newson. He married to the Newsons, and that was with Ethan Barrett, a pretty random townie she met. But Don was very, very happy to raise Dante, provide him with funds to move out, because Don was pretty wealthy by the time Dante was leaving. So yeah, he never had any problem with that. As we can see, Dante has gone on to have many children and grandchildren. We may look at the Newsons another time, because they are a very, very big family in the town. But yeah, I love Don. I think he's fantastic. I always like seeing other people's interpretations of him. I like seeing other Pleasantview videos, seeing what he gets up to and who he ends up with. He's a romance sim, but I think he's a good guy. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned for the next one. I think next time I'm going to look at the Pleasant family. They are still in the original Pleasant house because it's massive, and who would leave that? And I'll show you where they've gone to in their video. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.